Well, the grand unveiling.
Yes.
You can see the paint jobs and the customization on the Dogfighters. They make, when you get color on them, they really come to life.
Yeah,
too.
they do. We've had a lot of fun with these, Kurt, from the time we opened the box, really. I mean, we had our eyes set on what we wanted to do to customize them, and a lot of ideas about how they were going to fly.
You went Pacific Theater.
Yeah, kind of
Hellcat-ish.
Hellcat, yeah, three-color scheme. Two blues and a white bottom.
Yep, and then this is off of Messerschmitt, and well, we actually saw in a book that we like the
yeah, and
camel
Kurt
pattern.
says, "Can we do this one?" And I'm like, yeah, sure I can.
Rob, make mine look like this picture.
Yeah. So you know, Rob the builder.
Hey, I did something. Oh, I sprayed the spinner.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah,
that's right.
Now we actually used Krylon on our.
We weren't going to get detailed as far as getting out airbrush and stuff like that.
No, and there's probably some other paints that you'd want to check into, like.
Well, I've heard the Rust-Oleum will work.
Rust-Oleum will work, and then like a testers. It takes a little longer to drive the testers, but it bonds a little stronger to the foam. A Krylon doesn't bond real strong.
No.
You can pull it off real easy with like a sticker or something. But it's quick and it dries fast.
Yeah.
And this is, we just wanted ours done, put together, and then...
We were able to do this one in an afternoon, basically.
Yep.
And then mine I did over the course of 2 days, but at total time probably was an afternoon.
But boys, that pull out the detail of the actual airframe and the shape of the wings and everything. All the detail comes out. So let's jump into the review. Now this was a bit of an eye-opener for you, Rob.
Yes, it was. I had a lot of fun with these.
So we're gonna have you handle the
Fine.
review. You're going to do the dissertation on the review outcome, the review scoring. First thing in model characteristics is built as advertised. Gave it a 3.5 out of 5.
Yeah, now that sounds bad, but one thing you got to keep in mind is the build of the airframe itself was straightforward. The directions were pretty good. The illustrations with it were good. Where these kind of fall or fail a little bit is they don't give you any indication as to where to put the electronics. And this is not the type of airframe that allows you to just put them pretty much where you feel like putting them.
No, your
don't have
positioning is
room.
fairly limited.
Yeah, it is. And you had telemetry in yours, which made it twice as hard, where mine I didn't. And so I was able to juggle things around a little different based on Kurt's experience when he put his.
I called Rob. I went through and glued my two halves together on my fuse and realized at that point when I got it finished in the airframe there, I thought, well, let's check the balance. And all of a sudden I found out that I was way, way tail heavy.
Yeah.
Way tail heavy.
Yeah.
So I kept scooting the battery forward and forward and forward and forward. I got it all the way up inside the engine cell, all the way up to the very back of the outrunner motor. I mean, within a quarter inch of the back of the outrunner motor. And this is with a 2200 milliamp pack, which is what they recommend, a three cell 2200. And I just got it to balance there. Just got to balance there. So called Rob, said, listen, before you glue your two halves together, you're going to want to move as much forward as you can. So you took some pictures.
I took some pictures. We'll provide those on the website so that you can see what I did to modify mine. You may find something that works a little better.
And you have more balance range than I ended up with. So your modification was the right way to go.
Yeah. And, you know, I put my motor and my ESC in while it was still in half.
Right.
And then I combined the two with them already installed. And that was really the only way you can do it and get the balance you want. Now,
the manufacturer did say that a 2750 milliamp Thunder Power battery they ran with at one of the competitions when they were kind of showing them off, and it balanced out a little better with that 2750. And it's not going to hurt for the pilot. It's got plenty of power, plenty of lift. You're going to be fine with those. But we're burning through a lot of time on build as advertised. But that's why we get the 3.5 out of 5. It's just you're going to have to kind of do some creative.
These are a unique plane. I think we're going to have to spend a couple more minutes.
But I tell you what, talk about worth the time invested.
Oh, good Lord!
The end result's amazing.
We'll get to that.
Finish, got a 4 out of 5.
Yeah, right out of the box, they're white. They're white Elipore. Kurt and I have mentioned on some other multiplex planes, the Elipore has got a very, very nice finish to it. It's nice and smooth. If you choose just to stick with the white airframe, put the stickers on it, it's still a good-looking plane.
And man, it's slick in the air. They fly like a build-up balsa plane.
They do. There's no parasitic drag like you feel on a foamy. So it was very surprising.
Which leads to the next thing: power, 5 out of 5.
Oh man, where do you want to start? I mean, we won't spend a lot of time on it, but I'm telling you,
I think two numbers pretty much say the power. 20-degree dive, about a 20-degree dive into level, and we clocked 94 miles an hour.
94 miles an hour.
On the stock prop setup.
Stock prop, yeah.
And then we went and played around with a 9.6 prop and saw we could get out of it. That day, well, we were dead crosswind as well, coming out of that dive. We topped it at 94 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And that's out of the box. That's with factory setup. Man, that's a fast plane.
In the same respect, that power gets awful friendly when you want it to.
Oh,
you just back off, and these things, Our
You're getting into flight as advertised.
Yeah,
though.
let's wait for that. Sorry. I'm jumping ahead. Yeah, it's hard not to.
Power's phenomenal, though.
Yeah,
It's unlimited climb outs.
Yeah.
Next thing is ground handling, 5 out of 5.
Yeah, now ground handling, of course, is, we can really quantify that, I guess, with 2 categories. One would be hand launching it,
Yep.
would qualify for ground handling.
Yep.
And the landing. Kurt boomeranged his. You'll see it.
Yep.
He grabbed his by the left wing and he boomeranged it and it worked fine. I did the traditional overhand just to show another way of launching it. These things will pull right out of your hand.
Oh my gosh!
About
yeah.
3/4 throttle, half to 3/4.
You're gonna see it. You're gonna feel an immediate torque roll to the
Sure.
left.
So you're gonna want to
So you're gonna want to have your hand on that right stick in mode 2, on the left stick in mode 1.
Yeah.
Anyway, you're gonna want to have your hand on the ailerons nonetheless.
Yeah.
And you're gonna want to counter right at launch, but it's exactly
Yeah. And it's not.
I think we probably could have done some reverse hand tosses, some underhand tosses.
I think just toss them up with no power on and let them climb out of it. I think would work.
Point up in the air, and you're pretty much
it's
set.
very, very docile. It's not hard at all.
The other half of this ground handling is when you get in the ground effect and you bring it in.
Wow, that is where these planes shine. I'm telling you what, they are the easiest and most forgiving planes I've ever belly landed, and I think, Kurt, you'll agree with me on that.
It was a total shocker for me.
You can hover those things right along the ground as long as you want to bleed off as much airspeed as you want and drop it when you want
and
to.
just keep tipping the tail all you want, all the way through to stop.
Yeah.
Now we're getting into flight as advertised.
Yeah, again, we're jumping ahead.
Model characteristics, durability, last category, give it a 4.5 out of 5.
Yeah, we had a couple of not rough, hard landings, but any belly landing is a controlled crash if you really want to break it down.
Yep.
It is.
Yep.
It's a controlled crash.
You're taking it to the ground.
And they held up fine. I mean, they
tough.
really did good.
There's really nothing really notable.
And traveling in the car, they're small enough. You stick them on their spinner, lean them up in the back seat, and you're ready to go.
Now we move on to pilot experience, which is the most exciting thing about the Dogfighters by far. Flight as advertised, gave it a 5 out of 5.
I'll tell you what, I'll give you my quick summary of it, Kurt, and you can add what you want.
Okay.
When you have a plane that's advertised 90 plus miles an hour, usually the flight envelope is not enormous.
Nope.
Okay, especially with a foam plane, you're usually talking for a foam to get up to 90 miles an hour, you're talking a little bit heavier plane, a little bit more radical flight envelope.
Touchy, yeah.
Yeah, touchy. These things, you can't say enough about them. We had flight ranges with the telemetry of 15 miles an hour through the air to 94 miles an hour in the air.
Yep.
And 15 miles was very controllable.
Oh my gosh,
I mean, it was,
yeah.
you
run
literally between 1/8 and 1/4 throttle for most of the flight, and they're just zinging along, but yet you hit that throttle and they're gone. I mean, unlimited climb out. It's amazing. The loops could be as big as you want them.
You can literally fly these controlled at about 9 miles an hour with just a mild breeze, like we had about a 1.5 mile breeze.
Yeah.
Our
hard
ground
to
speed was about 9 miles an hour, and they were controllable. They were controllable.
Very controllable. And when you say controllable, you're not working the control surfaces to maintain that.
No.
These things are just zipping along. They're just going. Aileron turns, there's no tendency to drop.
In fact, today you flew my Spitfire. Intentionally, I had you fly my Spitfire.
Yeah.
How did it feel compared to the Spitfire?
It felt a lot like it. Yeah. The only difference being was you had a little more control with these.
You had more control of these.
Yeah,
you had more friendly slow speed flying than you did with the Spit.
You did. Yeah. But, you know, we've talked about this from the time we opened these up, that elliptical or semi-elliptical wing.
Yep.
There's just so many good features about these planes. The nose being tapered down to a point, you're getting a lot of good airflow over the plane itself.
Yep.
The canopy where it's at, it's not a big obnoxious canopy. It's got a long fuse, a nice generous tail. There's just so many things, you know. You've got a flying surface on the tail. It's not a flat tail. You've got a symmetrical surface on that.
We talked about taking the best from a P-51, the best from a
Messerschmitt,
Hurricane, you just go through the list of all the top planes from the era and put them into a design, and this is exactly what you had. Yeah. And the way it's designed, I guess my only summary on the whole thing is that flight envelope, I can't stress enough how clean it is from 8 miles an hour to 94 miles an hour.
It blew my mind when I first flew it.
You're literally just you're just going faster.
Yeah.
The controls feel the absolute same. The behavior is the same. The wing, that you don't overfly the incidence on the wing at 94 miles an hour. It feels totally comfortable. So
there's not a tendency for it to tip stall on landing.
Not
when
at
it gets
all.
into ground effect, that
it's
is solid as a rock. It's just crazy. They're so much fun. They became our definitely would be putting our hangar to fly for pleasure.
Yeah. These are fun flyers.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. All right, we killed it. Flight time, 4.5 out of 5.
Yeah, we got a long run time on these with the 2170s and the 2200s.
Your
both.
draw rate on the bench and your calculations are going to come out to about 4 minutes of flight.
Yeah.
However, in the air, you're flying at third, quarter throttle.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I can think of 2 or maybe 3 times
Yeah.
when we were doing kidney-shaped patterns, trying to get some show passes
Yeah.
with both of them in frame. I maybe hit the throttle full twice,
Yeah.
3 times for that flight, and we flew it for almost 9 minutes.
Exactly.
So
on that flight alone. Yeah,
phenomenal.
don't let the nobody takes a plane out there and flies it for pleasure at full throttle nonstop.
Yeah, and you're not supposed to anyway. You got a
No.
10-second run, but
So-
yeah, with these you're going so darn fast. I mean, unless you're intentionally trying to do speed runs,
Exactly.
it's just they
But
handle
it's
so
such
well.
a controlled fast.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Absolutely. Field size, we're saying this is a flying field.
Yeah, 90+ mile an hour plane.
Not
it's
a park
field.
flyer.
It's a full-size flying field, and you're going to want the room to ring these things out.
Oh,
you
yeah.
don't want to be trying to fight them in a tight surface
Not
or
at
tight
all.
quarters.
Portability gave them a 4 out of 5.
Yeah, they travel nice. They're short wingspan. They're durable. You know, I went crazy and added guns to my wings, which is probably could be problematic, I guess, for traveling. But I had no
Yeah,
problems with it.
They're tough.
Yeah.
They're tough and well contained. Skill level now is intermediate to advanced.
I'm going to
And-
say intermediate to advanced for a couple of reasons. One is the flight envelope itself. You can definitely, an intermediate pilot can fly these no problem.
Somebody hand the sticks to them, they're going to
Somebody
handle it,
hand
no
the
problem.
sticks to 'em.
In fact, there's some beginners that if they were handed the sticks and they were a couple mistakes high,
Yeah.
would be able to fly these all day long.
But this is everything a low-wing sport plane should be. And
my
you've
gosh.
got to have some low-wing sport plane, some experience with it to be able to enjoy it and to be able to handle it for how they should be handled.
This will take a solid flyer and give them dumb thumbs once in a while.
Oh yeah.
But when you
Yeah.
get into when you come out of a real fast high-speed bank
Yep.
or something.
These things, I've never seen a plane this size without it being like a Yak or a Sequoia or something like that, aileron roll. I mean, they just roll in an
And
instant
stop
and
on a dime.
stop on a dime.
Yep.
Yep. It's ridiculous.
We'll post up the expos and
Yeah.
throw rates we had.
Yeah.
It really was like a beautiful combination for these. So.
It was, but the speed is there, so that's why we've kind of tipped a little more towards the
Yep.
advanced. You've got a handful when you give her full throttle. so-
Absolutely, absolutely. This wraps up our review of the Dogfighters. If you want to take a look at the full review, you can go to our website at tobefly.com. For our mobile users, you can go to rcflightsource.com and download the mobile app, and then you'll have news, tools, reviews, workshops, and some exclusive content that isn't on the website on your phone and always at your disposal. I'm Kurt with Two Brothers Hobby.
And I'm Rob. Thanks for watching.